It's over!
He's done it again! Unbelievable!
Oh, straight into the roof of the net.
Nice one.
Struck down the middle. So a good performance.
Hi, welcome to Firstpost. I'm Rupha Ramani. Let's get started. On the show today, Mumbai slides to another loss. Bengaluru breaks yet another record. But the voices of dissent for India captain and his poor form in the Indian Premier League is only growing. What's next for Mumbai and Rohit Sharma? Meanwhile, Sunil Gavaskar has slammed England for wanting to remove the Pataudi name and rebrand the India-England Home Series trophy. Is his anger valid? What's the Indian cricket fraternity thinking? And is North Korea trying to use sports as a means of whitewashing their image on the global stage? The country finally opened its doors to foreign athletes in a race that kicked off for the first time since it shut down when COVID struck. All of that coming your way, but first a look at the headlines on Sports 360. We'll start with the Indian Premier League. Bengaluru's Virat Kohli became the first Indian batter to score over 13,000 runs in T20s across events. Kohli breached the mark during his 67-run knock versus Mumbai last evening. Bengaluru beat Mumbai after setting them a target of 222 for the first time in Wankhede in 10 years. England have appointed Harry Brook as their new white ball captain. The 26-year-old succeeds Jos Buttler, who stepped down following England's Champions Trophy group stage exit. Brook was recently banned by the Indian Premier League for 2 years after he opted out of the tournament to prioritise international duty. Brook's first assignment will be England's white ball home series against West Indies, which starts next month. Pakistan have been fined for slow over rate for the third time in a row. The Mohammad Rizwan-led side failed to finish their quota of overs in the allotted time against New Zealand in the third ODI International 2. All the players were docked 5% of their match fees. On to football. Newcastle eased past Leicester City with the 3-0 win in the Premier League. Jacob Murphy's brace and Harvey Barnes' goal led Newcastle's dominant win. They overtook Manchester City in the points table to reach 5th with 53 points. They are now level with 4th place Chelsea as the club aims to qualify for the Champions League next year. And Magnus Carlsen dominated the first day of freestyle chess Grand Slam Tour's Paris leg. The Norwegian's only loss of the day came against India's Arjun Erigesi. Erigesi was India's best player on the night as he collected 3.5 points out of 6. Chess world champion Gukesh Domaraju too registered his first win in the tournament after going winless in Germany. The 18-year-old beat Arjun Erigesi to register 1.5 points at the end of the day. Legends of the sport are having a bit of a hard time at the Indian Premier League. One such name is Rohit Sharma. The Indian captain has not been having a great run so far, and nor has his IPL side. And this time, the heat is truly on Rohit. But how the tables have turned in the fickle minds of fans. Let me take you on a flashback first to last time this year. Hardik Pandya was named captain of the Mumbai franchise, and the city was enraged. They were shocked and hurt that their very own skipper, who'd led them to so many memorable wins, was being replaced. But the deed was done and the owners were not going to reverse anything. The clamour for Rohit was unprecedented and the hate for Hardik just as unbelievable. We were shocked to witness two Indian heroes being pitted against each other, fans spewing hate for one of their own. But 1 year on, and despite 2 ICC titles, fans have now made a dramatic U-turn. They are brutal and have even questioned Rohit Sharma on whether he is tarnishing his own legacy by continuing to do what he's doing at the IPL. Now, this U-turn by die-hard Mumbai fans has been backed by performances, or rather the lack of what it is. This is Rohit Sharma. In the 5 matches that Mumbai has played, he of course did not feature in one of them. He's not done much with the bat, and the pressure is telling. The power play overs have been very weak and meek, and he's been responsible for a major part of that. A stark contrast to their bowling that has received a massive boost with the re-inclusion and the arrival of fit again Jasprit Bumrah. And then, of course, there is Hardik Pandya, who's been doing all he can with both bat and ball to try and get Mumbai across the finish line. He's averaged above 40 with the bat, striking at nearly 170. That's huge. And has also managed to take 10 wickets in the matches that he's played so far, with a fifer in one of the games, and yet Mumbai ended up on the losing side. He's been confident as a captain. He's tried to take some bold decisions, even though a few of those have come under fire, like retiring Tilak Varma when he was not going good in the previous game, the one before last night. Some wins are effortless, like losses, and Mumbai, though, looks like they've been trying too hard to get even that far. Like every single game is an effort. They've come close to crossing the line, which only means that they could go all the way, but some things just aren't working. Like their batting in the power play, there is no fire in there. And that's a major part of the game that they are losing out on. That's what's creating the difference between two sides on the day. Should the same Tilak Varma, who was retired but came back with a bang in the game last night, be moved up the order at number 3, where we've seen him bat for his national side? What's the solution really? Mumbai, a champion team that we've seen in the past, much like Chennai, find themselves on unusual ground. They have to rethink certain tactics. They need to start winning, and winning big, if they want this season to be any different from what transpired last year. England is tarnishing 2 Indian cricket legends' legacy. No, these are not my words. This is in fact the sentiment across the Indian cricketing fraternity. The anguish stems from England's decision to rename the Pataudi Trophy, the name given to the series between India and England that's played in England and Wales. That's set to take place right after the Indian Premier League, and the anger is such that a former great has even demanded a boycott. Let's dive right into what snowballed into a bit of a controversy. Now, Pataudi Trophy was first handed to the winner of the India and England series back in 2007. This was to honour the legacy of 2 former India captains, Iftikhar Ali Khan Pataudi and Mansoor Ali Khan Pataudi. But come 2025, the England Cricket Board wants to rebrand this and honour another cricketer. There is still no confirmation over who it will be renamed after. The last time I spoke to the head of the ECB communications department, they were still mulling over the name change. The only thing they've done so far, which is conveyed their intention of wanting to change the name, and they did that by sending a letter to Bollywood actor Saif Ali Khan, who's the son of Mansoor Ali Khan Pataudi. The family, of course, was disappointed. Bollywood actor and wife of Mansoor Ali Khan Pataudi, Sharmila Tagore, even said that maybe BCCI and the ECB do not wish to honour the legacy of Tiger, a name very fondly given to her husband, anymore. And now it isn't just the family who feels distressed over ECB's decision. The Indian cricket community is rather displeased too, and one of the strongest retorts has come from former India captain Sunil Gavaskar.
The recent news that the ECB is going to retire the Pataudi Trophy is disturbing indeed. It shows a total lack of sensitivity and the contribution made by the Pataudis to cricket in both England and India.
Gavaskar feels that retiring the trophy will tarnish the legacy of the Pataudis. But will it really? For years now, the Pataudi Trophy has seen some iconic battles. The series has witnessed how Indian cricket really has taken shape over the many years, a period that lasted close to 2 decades. Isn't that the biggest honour? That this name has witnessed glorious battles, and given the rivalry between India and England that has now only intensified in the past 2 decades, wouldn't it be more fitting to name the series after 2 of the best players the countries have produced thereafter? If that's what the boards in fact are contemplating. And who knows it better than Gavaskar. The India and Australia series is called the Border Gavaskar Trophy, named after Sunil Gavaskar and former Australian captain Alan Border. The series honours not just these 2 cricketers, but also signifies how these 2 greats have symbolised an epic rivalry that has shaped up between these 2 countries. So he's more inclined to side with history, not to change anything, to protect a legacy in the way he deems is correct and just. The cricketer turned commentator feels that if any cricketer is approached, he should just politely decline the offer.
There may well be a new trophy named after more recent players. And here's hoping that if an Indian player has been approached, he will have the good sense to politely decline. Not only out of respect for 2 former India captains, but also to avoid the same fate of having a trophy named after him retired after he's gone.
The biggest point of discussion in this whole ECB conundrum is the series name is basically to honour the legacy. The Pataudi Trophy name was also given to celebrate 75 years of cricket between the 2 nations. It signifies something historic, something seminal. Sure, the voices are divided over the Pataudi Trophy retirement, but if the whole debate is around honouring a legacy, will a cricketer decline the offer? Because at stake isn't just declining the name of the trophy, but also denouncing the significance of the cricket battles between these 2 nations. Will a cricket great do that? Sure, things like trophy names, like the names of monuments or cities, are expected to last an eternity, a lifetime, at least many voices believe so. But that sentiment and practice has also seen a bit of an overhaul and change with the years going by. And every rivalry changes hands. The faces are different. The trophy name is sort of like a promotion of the series, isn't it? Like a poster. And shouldn't that change to a time that would be relevant and relatable now? To a name or faces that the world has seen thereafter. A relatable one of the time that we live in. So shouldn't those names and greats be honoured for their contributions too? After all, it is about legacy, isn't it? The otherwise confined North Korea is finally opening up its borders. A lockdown that lasted around 6 years has finally ceased. And it's once again sports acting as the bridge between this country and the rest of the world. North Korea organized the Pyongyang International Marathon for the first time in 6 years in their capital city. It was held every year on the 15th of April, but when COVID struck, it led to the borders being shut down. And unlike the rest of the world, the country was slow to trust outsiders again. Sure, Russian tourists were allowed since 2024, but it was this meet that really brought around 200 foreign nationals all under one roof. Can sports be that uniting factor between the international pariah and the rest of the globe? Our next report tells you more.
North Korea, a complex and fascinating country, is shaping its own destiny on the global stage. While the country is under various international sanctions for its belligerent provocations and for supporting Russia in their war against Ukraine, they are now using sports to revamp their image as hosts. The biggest in that list is the Pyongyang International Marathon, the country's largest international sporting event. It is the gathering of runners from across the globe which started to attract international audience since 1981. An event that began in an effort to honor the birth of the country's leader, Kim Jong-un's grandfather, Kim Il-sung, on April 15th. But after COVID-19 struck, the country went on a strict lockdown, just like their regime. They disconnected themselves from most part of the world during the pandemic. But after a 6-year hiatus, the marathon has once again returned. And while 950 participants attended the race back in 2019, about 200 foreign runners from China, Ethiopia and other countries showed up this time around. While the number of athletes may have been reduced, there was much excitement among the fans. 50,000 spectators greeted participants as they moved across the city's landmarks and countryside before returning to the stadium, showing just how much the country needed an international event like this. And the other fascinating thing about North Korea is, they may not be on the same page with the rest of the world as far as political matters go, but they do know how to achieve perfection in whatever they put their minds to. They have a record 3-time Under-20 Women's Football World Cup winning team. They have a Women's World Boxing Championship gold medalist too, and are fierce competitors at every multi-sporting event they take part in. They've made it to 11 editions of the Olympics and have won 63 medals. 16 of those have been gold. The medal tally gets even better at the Asian Games, with 430 medals in 11 games, 110 of those being gold. And while the country may have strict rules over talking with athletes from other countries or not engaging with any South Korean participants, they have slowly started welcoming their top performers with open arms too. All highlighting that if anything can remove North Korea's status as an outcast, it is sports. Sure, the West has been the country's biggest critic, but maybe sports is the medium that will bridge that barrier. And who knows, maybe the same field can pave way for bigger geopolitical decisions too.
Time for last serve. Russia is cornered in the sporting world, but that hasn't stopped them from celebrating their ice hockey icons' historic feat. Washington Capitals forward Alex Ovechkin scored his 895th career goal to become the leading goal scorer in the league's history. Fans in Moscow went berserk. Russian President Vladimir Putin too congratulated Ovechkin for his achievement. That wraps it up here today on First Sports. I'll, of course, keep seeing you on this show and bring you more perspectives again tomorrow. Till then, take care.
Greeting you with aloha and namaste.
I love India.
Presence, occupation of a territory by another country pertains to India, what we saw in Kashmir.
How do you see Trump's America?
Yes, the current administration behaves differently from the previous administration.
Are you saying that there are foreign powers who are trying to bring down the current government in Syria?
Exactly.
Bluntly, Iran, maybe Russia too.
Prime Minister Modi committed to South-South, cooperation.
Not over 50%.
Is Ukraine prepared to pay the price for that peace?
No compromises at the cost of territorial integrity and sovereignty.